Like 2 hours, what did I miss other than the obviously spooky antics going on?
Got one card.
Did you read that? Did you read that like a billion years ago?
Yeah.
Sorry,
Sean,
I'm
you
just
ready?
catching up on it.
Alright, I'm gonna start your first card.
It was because you said, "Are you slower than me now?"
We got the Queen of Swords.
Sean's a queen.
So, we go ahead and read that.
Where's your food though? My food isn't done yet.
Queen of Swords. Okay.
I was like,
Alright, shut the
what?
fuck up. Shut the fuck up. I'm reading. The Queen of Swords sees the harsh, cold truth of everything, and then she tells people about it. She isn't in touch with her emotions, not because they are blocked, but because she doesn't see the value in them. And so there's nothing to temper the truth. It isn't that she is wrong, it's that she can't stop herself from revealing the truth, no matter how hurtful it is. Sometimes this is useful, because it can be hard to objective about a bad situation when you're in the middle of it. And it can be nice to have a clever and impartial judge to help you make a choice that stymies you. But often the Queen of Swords finds herself alone. Her wise words has too much blood smeared on it to provide comfort. The whole truth is often too much. Especially if the other party feels they're not applying the same level of harsh discernment to yourself. And the Queen can seem cruel too, because sometimes she is, when she's feeling low, she can't resist getting a jab in here or there. When this card appears, the cutting blade emerging from the pool of truth, it sometimes means that you need to be the Queen, powerful and in control of your emotions, wise and impartial. And sometimes it means that you feel that you are being unfairly seen as the Queen. You might be an undemonstrated person, or you might be frustrated by friends or family who seem unwilling to change obvious problems in their lives. And sometimes you are the Queen of Swords with all her thin truth, facing an alien field of other people's emotions. If that's the case, you don't have to learn to give comfort. You only have to learn to sometimes hold your tongue.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh,
What do you take from that? Do you have any thoughts?
no, you're fine.
If it's like a personal thing, you don't have to share.
I mean, I thought it was interesting when it said like, it's like you feel like you can be in touch with other people's emotions, but not really with your own. Sometimes I feel like that, you know?
Yeah.
Like, trying to find reason in law and things or
Just like thinking with your mind, not your heart as much.
yeah.
When I did a reading last night, I got a card similar. Basically telling me I need to think less with my mind and more with my heart. And just kind of try things and not think so hard about it before doing them. The next card. And we've got the Four of Swords. This is not good. I like this one. Four of Swords. Taken in order of the cards of the sword suit, the rest urged by this card makes total sense. After the grueling agony of the Three of Swords, it's logical that you might want to curl up in the corner and pant in a sorry way for a while. If you pulled this card in the middle of an otherwise active spread, however, you might be annoyed at its advice to be still and contemplative. The Four of Swords urges you to retreat or convalesce to prepare yourself for the next battle. Frustrating advice when you feel ready to go marching to war. This card urges you to hesitate, however, and take a look at your emotional state. If you're coming here from the Three of Swords, you've been through some eel-infested waters and you need to catch your breath, that isn't necessarily a crime. But if you feel prepared and surprised to see this card, the Four is asking you to double check. Make sure that you've thought of everything before you plunge on. Are you ready? Oh, are you really ready? So basically what this card is talking about is if you have any like new things coming into your life, I guess, or things that are what are you doing?
Can I unplug this?
What are you doing? What are you doing on my face?
Sorry, can I unplug this? No.
If you have like any challenges, anything that you have had trouble with, You have to
On the
be more hesitant and think about it rather than just jump straight into jumping into conclusions. Kind of is what this word means. Do you have any thoughts about it?
I can think of one thing that comes to mind.
What's up?
Just a little something, you know.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
what?
Just a little something, you know.
What?
You don't have to share.
I don't want to talk about it.
Wait, what? Wait, what was the? Can we have context?
No, it's he
It was
doesn't have
like-
to share. If he doesn't want to share, he doesn't.
It was like urging. It was like maybe you guys will know. It was like urging you to be hesitant about jumping into something without being prepared.
Mm-hmm. Oh, like a house?
I wasn't really thinking about that.
Like what?
Never mind.
No, is this like?
Alright, let's go to the next
Like-
one.
Hey, stop! You're like disrupting the energy.
It's fine, it's fine, it's
Just-
fine.
You can just record and be.
Sorry, it's fine. Just kidding.
Thank you. Don't intrude on questions. I will be asking questions.
Sorry.
Alright.
I'm fucked.
I think I fit 10 of swords. This part's. I mean, I guess depending on the context of the question, it can be a pretty good card, but it can also be very bad. It's very either or. There's not really an in between with this one. Shut the fuck up.
You turn it the right side up so it's not on like joysticks.
So, there's no point in sugarcoating this card. It's pretty terrible. On the traditional Rider-Waite deck, the art features a man stabbed with 10 swords, which seems excessive. Myra is settled for bare minimums, literally, but the meaning is the same, and endings. And a bad one. This card warns, shut the fuck up. This card warns of an agonizing and brutal conclusion, and the worst part is that it quite probably was your own fault. Back at the beginning of the suit, the ace promised the double-sided power of the swords. And along every step of the way, the swords cards have whispered of the dangers of power and logic when freed from empathy and mercy. Often this card is a result of you ignoring those warnings, and now you reap the black harvest that you sowed. You might not agree. Martyrdom is often associated with this card, but it doesn't really matter if you think this is an unjust punishment. Stabbed is stabbed. It's over. There's a bright side though, and that's that this is the worst it'll get. There's no 11 of swords to kill you even better. When you've hit rock bottom, there's nowhere to go but up. Yeah, that's a rough card to get. What do you think about that one? I mean, you could also just think that it has no correlation with the question at all if you don't think that.
I mean, I guess I'm trying, you know. I'm doing a lot of different things right now. Maybe some things just may go wrong, but we'll see. Between school and okay, we're done.
You can't really like have 40 general things, just like throw it in the back of your mind when it makes sense. You know?
Okay.
Just keep in mind because a lot of like these cards could just be generalized. It has no correlations with questions you're asking. Next word. You got the 9. You got the 9 of Cups. So like the cup suit is more focused on like relationships, friendships, how you like feelings and how you feel towards other people, kind of things like that. So then I got cups. Actually pulled this one here in a long time. What did I get? Okay. So, happiness. I could leave that single word as the descriptor for this card, and anything you could imagine would be alright. The 9 of Cups is a joyful, wonderful card representing all of your emotional dreams coming to fulfillment. Whatever you've been working towards in your relationships, be they friendly or familial or romantic, is all there. It's all here. You feel deeply content and like things are about to get better. You're probably right. The 9 and 10 both represent happiness, but I generally read the 9 as being happiness that is inside you. Optimism with where everything is going, where everything is at now, where you have been. You personally feel euphoric and with the possibilities and actualities of your situation. The art shows 9 birds soaring in the clouds. The birds symbolize the strong relationships promised in the card, and the clouds are, well, I just think it would be really great to be able to know. This is what the card looks like that she's talking about. It's another interpretation.
You sure?
Yeah, I mean, I can try.
I think it's interesting the stark difference between the last card and this one.
Yeah. Do you have any like thoughts about the card in particular?
Maybe it's like I feel like it's trying to tell a story. It's like something's gonna end, but ultimately that ending will lead to my happiness, you know. So
Alright, let's move on to the next card. So we got
yeah.
Death is not a bad card. It's really not. I mean, it can be quite a drastic card to get, depending on the situation or whatever the question is that you were asking, but it's not that bad.
Sean, you got death card.
Shut the fuck up. Let me do my thing.
Wait, do the hand wave again.
Let me do my thing.
Wait, do it one more time.
Please, I'm not the truth. Alright, okay. If I had a pony for every single book or movie that featured an ominous fortune teller turning over the dreadful death card, I would have heard a lot of glorious ponies and the world would be a better place. The death card has a powerful, fascinating meaning, and I'm sorry to report, although you might be glad to hear it if you just turn it over, that it is not really a warning that your loved ones should buy more life insurance. It stands for transformation. Complete, utter transformation, where you will be unrecognizable on the other side. What better to stand for this than the act of dying? We move from one life to another at death. We don't know exactly what the other side looks like, but we know it is nothing like this one. That uncertainty is what keeps us from willingly plunging into the transformation. Even if we are in an untenable place in your life, we don't want to jump without being sure that there is a ledge on the other side of the dark chasm. Otherwise, we'll just stick to the reality we're sure of, thanks, even if it's truly dreadful. When death arrives in your reading, it's asking you to make that jump. Actually, that's not true. It's not asking. It's telling you it's already happening. You can be a willing partner, or you can be dragged, but you need to make yourself over one way or another. You've come to the useful end of life as you know it. Change can be terrifying, but it's exciting too.
Key card.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have any thoughts on that one?
It seems like it's still building like a story like.
Yeah.
Like maybe I'm hesitant about doing something. I'm not sure if it's like a warning, but eventually I'm not gonna adhere to the warnings. I'm gonna get fucked on my own accord. But because I get fucked, then I'll be like happy because it's actually what I needed. And then the death is like just the complete transformation of my old past into like the future.
On to that. But the King of Swords. Oh, Swords. King of Swords is interesting. This one's. This one's a bit hard to. Unlike the bitter truth of the Queen, the King of Swords' opinion is valued because she doesn't offer it unless required. Rather than meting out cruel truths at every turn, the King has learned to be judicious about sharing the things that she knows, and the things she knows. The King is the logical product of a lifetime of valuing the truth, of valuing facts, of valuing the secret details that often escape others. Unlike the other swords court cards, which don't have much use for emotions or morality, the King is quite interested in both of these things. It is not that she has them. It it is that she sees the big picture and that she has observed that many other people, in fact, have emotions and morality, and one simply cannot make good decisions without taking those into account. As such, she is often consulted for wisdom, unlike the queen who is avoided for the same truth. The king also does not take herself into account when she is making decisions, and so one can be sure her opinion is unbiased. The sword on the card is she. The King of Swords can be ruthlessly and sociopathically fearsome when crossed, but that almost never happens. Why would someone cross her? She stands for the truth and the law. The sword remains covered, and the world is. What do you have to say about that?
Well, maybe if these are like opposites in a way, it's trying to signal like.
Like, just how do you interpret this card in itself? It's not like the cards are directly correlating to one another necessarily. It's more the individual card is going to have more direct correlation to the question or general advice than having them correlate together with one another.
Okay.
It's, I mean, like, yes, one card could lead into, like, you know, another card, but it's not like these have, like, we're sharing a similar correlation, if that makes sense. It's more of just a transition from one thing to the next. So, what do you think about this card?
Maybe you just kind of seem like general advice.
Okay. We're gonna pull your last card here. This will be it. Got the 3 cups. It's always a nice card again. Okay. So. Three of Cups. Alright. Like the 3 of Coins and the 3 of Wands, the 3 of Cups involves other people, but unlike those two, there's no work involved. It's the Cups, the suit of relationships and friendship. So this is essentially a party card. It's a card about friendship, but not just 2 best friends, a group of people that you feel you can hang out with to enjoy yourself. How you define your party or celebration or community is a very specific thing. However, so let this card reflect how you enjoy spending time with people. Sometimes this card means that you haven't had enough opportunities to unwind with others, or it means that you don't feel as if you've had enough people in your life that you would unwind with. In that case, take it as a goal and keep your heart open. In the case of all the friendship cards, remember to be a friend to yourself first. Confidence and love attracts more confidence and love. What do you think about that one?
Bro, let's just talk about the homies.
You already know. You already know. You already know.
Get in here. We gotta do like
Already
a
know.
4-way high-five.
You already know.
You're like way behind on there.
I know. I'm trying to get it to like match up.
That was pretty fire.
Jake, go
So
down.
what do you
I
think about this
next?
whole thing in
Oh
general?
wait,
you
I'll
think
go
like,
next. Or like Sean and Soul.
what are you thinking about that? Did you get some sort of advice to answer your question?
I feel like it didn't really talk about what I was thinking about, but it ended up talking about some other things that like I was also like thinking about.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying. If you really focus your energy into what you want the cards to answer, you're gonna get a more accurate reading.
Dude.
So if you also have like other subconscious thoughts that are like
Yeah.
clouding your mind, things like that.
I
you
feel
have
like
to
it
focus
told me
on
more
one
like
thing.
what I needed to hear rather than what I asked for.
And they do that a lot. The cards all do that a lot. I'm not gonna lie. Alright. Who wants to go next?
I can go next.
Yo, what's up?
I
Ali
wanna go next.
Galli.
You wanna go next? Who wants to go next?
Who?
Who's gonna go next? Do rock, paper, scissors for it. I don't care.
No, you can go next. It's fine. I got to edit.
Oh, actually. Give me
Can
a
I hold the
minute. I'm
camera
gonna,
though?
well, give me a minute. I wanna like start.
Yeah, you can hold the camera.
Yeah, we'll do a break. I'll hold the
Give
camera.
me a second so I can eat some of this grub.
Yo, turn off the camera. It's the green button, right?
Yo, what's up, Ali Gallis? No, it's not the green button. The red button. No, you have to hold the thing and then slide it down, like right here. It's right here. This, you hold it and then you bring it up into the middle. Yo, we're doing spooky time on Slompy Spooky Time.
What's up, buddy? This picture.
Spooky time.
Look,
Yeah.
look, intergalactic wolf.
It's Slompy spooky time, guys.
We're gonna play the Ouija board next.
Intergalactic.
No.
Slompy spooky time. Ah ha 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 ha.
I can't wait till we use that footage of me being like, we're gonna regret this. It'll be like the flashback footage.
Spooky time.
It was on this day that Slompy made that Christmas day.
Mwahahaha.
They even warned themselves.
I'm telling you guys, I'm like dead serious. Don't fuck with Ouija boards.
But fuck the Ouija board.
With MS.
It'll be fine.
I
Like
can
the
tell you.
gospel.
I can tell
You
you.
should tell some scary stories. It's sleepover after all.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
One time, I was sleeping and I got scared. I was pretty scared.
One time I was scared.
You guys want to hear what I said in my sleep last night?
What'd you say?
Lexi slept over, and apparently I was talking in my sleep a lot, and I said, I don't remember the exact quote, but it was like,
We'll take
it was
some scary
it's
stories.
black, fuck, it's Black Birthday month. Get all your friends and they can pick 'em or something like that. Like I just said absolute gibberish, but to me, Black Birthday month sounds like Party City's really horrible campaign ad.
Yeah.
Doesn't it?
What?
I said in my sleep for some reason I said Black Birthday month.
Oh, like
Grab
you
your
get
friends
me
and
like
they can
it.
pick 'em or some
Hey,
shit.
what's up, Tay?
Are you feeling the mystical energy?
Hi.
Can you tarot card Taylor? Taylor card?
Taylor card.
If we have her sit down, you think we'd be like, what do you think? And she's like,
No.
It's Taylor
Yes.
time.
I just got like so much
All
hair.
over the time.
Dude, literally, this is like, we're like editing a video while it's happening, you know? I was thinking about that, I'm like, bro, this literally feels like we're editing a
Like we're
video.
already doing the paranormal. We're watching the paranormal video.
Literally.
No, Taylor!
Taylor! Stop.
My dogs would just steal it. No!
No.
I like the Halloween music.
I want like nostalgic ambient instrument. There we go. Is this one good?
No.
Yo, what's up, Droogs Don't Run? Taylor!
Step during my tarot reading.
Oh my god. Give me water too from the get
Taylor.
ice water from the fridge.
Can you get some
Get
ice
ice
from the
water
fridge?
from the fridge.
This is not as good as the last one that we had.
We gotta find the
hour-long
perfect versions.
music.
You have to say hour-long music.
No, because it needs to be not copyright.
Taylor, stop!
Taylor,
She's eating things.
it's okay. She's gonna eat things.
I
She's
just don't want her to die.
relaxing. Blech.
Sean got the death card and now I'm scared.
The death card isn't bad though. Remember in the game they even said that.
But it said it shouldn't be bad because eventually you're gonna die.
Well, yeah, no shit. Eventually you're gonna die.
That's great.
The death card means change. Doesn't mean death.
Yeah, because when you die, things change for you.
And more means like a drastic change.
Jurassic change.
What was Sean meaning by that thing when
I don't
he looked
know.
at both of us? And
I don't
Jack,
know.
did he look at you too? You got avocado? Bro,
You got
some
that
avocado?
avocado.
My avocado.
Oh, that's from your house?
No.
No, I'm saying I didn't know they had avocado.
Did you look at the menu?
Dude, I have a wire straight up my fucking ass crack.
Good.
I was like, why do I have such a bad wedgie right now? Like it just started kicking in. You know when pain starts like attributing itself to your nerves?
Taylor.
You find
No.
picking it up on your system.
No.
You're like, man, my ass hurts from sitting in this position. Taylor, I'm so sorry. Uh-oh, Taylor's in person.
Honestly though, like, here, bring the low camera to her.
Dog Pam. Oh my god, she's such a good boy.
She's a good. She's such a good boy.
A good boy is unisex for dogs.
I see.
What?
Point of view, you want to pet Taylor.
Hello, come on, yeah.
Come here, let me pet.
Oh, she got Sean. Her face.
She got Sean.
Am I your favorite Taylor?
You have to do point of view, you petting Taylor.
This is point of view meets pet.
Point of view,
No, Sean
you're
does it.
Sean petting Taylor.
Because Sean literally takes the longest to pet Taylor. Taylor, go. Hello.
Alright.
Point of view, you're Sean petting Taylor. And Taylor tries to beat your ass. And you're Tristan. No! Where's my food? Oh, so my food is down there still.
Okay, Tristan, is it your turn to do tarot cards?
I'm nervous.
Yeah,
I'm nervous.
I'm nervous too.
Dude, I'm nervous. What if it's,
Really?
what if it's
Hey,
gonna
yo,
be
can you hand me my
you're gonna
water?
die, you're gonna die, you're gonna
Can
die.
you hand me my water bottle?
Yeah.
Thank you. Teamwork makes the dream work.
Okay,
It's
so
like-
you gotta
it's
be,
like, okay,
you gotta be on camera now, Sean.
Okay.
So you have to wait. Put that one.
Good boy is gender
somewhere else,
specific.
because we
Good
already
boy is unisex, all inclusive. There's linguistics facts.
Alright, guys.
Thank you.
Are you ready,
Thank
Tristan?
you. Thank you. Jack, can dead be used as a noun?
Oh my god!
Shut up. We're not having this conversation
Okay,
right now.
we're not having
Come
this
on.
conversation.
We just want Jack's opinion. We'll get back to it when we do.
Can you close the door?
Go for it.
Close the door.
Wait, do you have to cleanse them since Sean
No.
made them?
There's another way.
His-
There's
of his
another.
spiritual stench?
Listen, there's
Connected.
There's another very important part of this. In between doing readings, this is like doing it in one session. You don't have to cleanse it every time. You can if you really want to be super nitpicky about it, but it's not. I don't believe it makes that much of a
I'm not
difference.
too nitpicky, but that definitely.
So
No,
what you would do in between doing a reading and the next one,
hold it down and push it forward.
is if you're listening, for all those people who are actually listening, in between doing readings, what you want to do is you want to hold the cards, the back of it, hold the entire deck, and just knock it 3 times. That just knocks out all the intentions, all the past intentions of the cards, and makes it ready for a new question, advice, guidance, whatever it has for the next reading. So
You knocked it 3 times. Is
Yeah.
there a specific reason you knocked 3 times and only 3 times, or is there a
Mhm.
chance that you can do
there's a specific reason. I don't know what the specific reason is. I just been told that is you're supposed to do it that way. So I'm going with it. So can you put that down for a first or that?
Oh my god, why are they so light? I thought these were gonna get heavy.
Really?
So I want you to just focus as hard as you can on one particular intention you want for the cards. Like what you want for what do you want to get out of the cards, so you don't forget the thing.
Can it be like the same
It can
top?
be whatever, literally anything you want to ask about. You don't have to tell us. You can tell me if you so want to.
If you so.
Okay, no, I wanna like
Do you want to tell me, or do you want to?
No, I just want. I'm thinking right now. But I don't want to see what's going on, but I don't want to.
Don't look at the. Just
No,
hold
I'm
it.
trying to look. Yeah. God, you know Bobby's when that is plaid. That's
Don't think about it. Do you just gotta focus your intentions into the cards and say you want? What do you whatever you want to know or get some advice about? Focus on that. Just focus on that one thing.
What if I start crying?
That's okay. That is okay. You know, some people take this very
Okay,
seriously. You're not
okay.
very
If I ask a
serious.
question and I feel comfortable with it asked,
Do you feel comfortable? Do
Yeah.
you feel as if
yeah, I think I've asked
do you
it.
feel as if your energies are actually with these cards?
Yeah, I felt really emotional for a second. That was really weird. I wasn't trying to be weird about it, but I was like, I actually
Good.
was just
No,
like,
that's a good thing. That's not a bad thing. No, it's good. It's better to
There's so
be.
much light in that thought.
It's better to be able to transfer your energies into the cards.
Why are they so light? That would trip
Why are
me
they so
the fuck out.
big or
No,
what?
light. I thought
I
they
don't
were
know.
heavy.
I thought so too, but they're not. They're really not that heavy.
That's freaking out.
You're fine. You're fine.
No, that tripped me out though, for real.
No, you're good. Don't worry about it.
Is there a specific amount of times that you have
No,
to mix
just
it
in,
up?
like once I feel as if it'll give me, like a good reason, it's kind of like a feel thing. Like I can keep going until I feel it's right. Sometimes it takes a while.
I'm really bad at like looking people straight in the eye, so if I start like laughing, I'm trying to be rude, but like
No, I got you.
I can't. I don't take myself
I'm just
seriously.
trying to like focus on
Okay, that wing
putting
was
your
kinda-
your intent into the cards. It's just kind of like what I'm focusing.
That wing was kind of nice though.
Oh, I didn't do that on purpose.
Oh, I was just like, okay.
I just blink weird.
So you're just like, you're like, yeah, this is the way I'm down. I'm like, okay. No, this is interesting.
You're lying, y'all are still active.
I think my biggest deal is I think it's so funny. I just made it
I'm gonna get
laugh.
some other cards that are gonna be a lot better than these.
Like a lot cooler looking.
Just like the looks of them. I want like my own deck that I can become more into with this one. This isn't particularly my vibe. It's more associates with me.
Is there
Does make a difference.
okay. Also, is drawing on it yourself, if somebody owns a deck of tarot cards, like let's say you have blank white one, or just even those, if you drew on those, does that affect then the energy of them or how they receive somebody's energy?
I actually don't know. That is something I don't know.
You gonna draw your own tarot cards?
No, I'm just like, what if that like a one line here or one
But here-
circle there could affect
But
it?
here, let's focus. I'm gonna grab these cards here. Give me both your hands. I want you to focus because you're an ADHD kid. You gotta focus.
Yeah.
I'm gonna focus on the intention of this card. Just like hold. Give it like 10 seconds. Just like hold it. Just
So
think
you
about
gotta
it.
switch the panels.
So whenever you feel ready, you can let go whenever you feel ready.
You want a heartbeat in my hand?
Yeah.
Squeeze.
Okay. You ready? You get
Okay,
better.
hold on. That was like an uncertainty there. Like I really want to get into it. I'm really trying.
I'll tell you, it's not easy for me. It was very easy for me from when I was playing.
Okay, my hands are getting sweaty, but yeah, I'm good.
Alright.
That's some good shots, but now we get this one right.
It's weird. Usually like when I do cards, like kind of like fly out when I'm shuffling the deck, but doesn't necessarily mean a bad thing.
Does that?
I mean, it's just something that happens. It's like when that happens, like it really wants to show you that card in specific. Like those cards are usually.
Dude, I knew Taylor got hair in here, but like, damn.
Is this a Taylor roll now?
Yeah.
That's sick, Jack.
Are you ready? Are you ready?
Dude, can you pass me the glove glass?
Yeah. I like that, Jack. Thank you.
Your ice.
I'll have some. That's fine. That's fine. I got mine.
Sorry, I'm kind of a thirsty bitch right now. I'll take a little bit though.
Frighteningly bad jokes.
All right. Are we ready?
I'm not gonna say
Are we ready?
Yep.
So we're starting off with the Two of Pentacles, or the Two of Coins, however you want to do it. Two of Pentacles, 2 points.
That looks like me on
Same
a
thing.
good Tuesday night.
Nice.
I'm digging the hat though.
The hat is pretty good. It's pretty sick.
It's hard to drink my water.
Everything.
You just have no.
What's that in the back of these things? That's a ship, but is that a ship as well?
Honestly, yeah, it's a card.
That's what it looks like, right? Alrighty. Let me continue my interpretation of this reading for my good friend here. Okay. So this card has a lot to do with saying time is money. It is about balance and priorities. A lot of tarot art shows a man juggling on this card because that's what it feels like. After the first blush of opportunity displayed on the Ace of Coins, things are starting to get a little complicated. You're feeling the pressure of balancing career with family, or perhaps having a hard time prioritizing multiple career concerns. The key here isn't so much about choice. You're not being asked to shed any of these things that you are balancing. The Two of Coins is about being flexible, willing to change and shift in order to accommodate the multiple demands put upon your time. Rather than stripping down to what you can handle right now, you can stop me at any time if you need to.
No, I want you to keep going.
Rather than stripping down to what you can handle right now, consider what can change to allow yourself to adequately attend to all your concerns.
Dude. That fucks with me right now.
The art shows 2 rosebuds of equal size. A gardener could snip one bud off to allow a single bud to flourish more easily, or it can tend and feed the plant so that the bush can support both buds at once. The 2 of coins encourages you to do the latter.
2 mics.
Wow. 2 mics. Oh, that's what you said. Okay, 2 mics.
Alright.
It's
Do you have
literally
any,
perfect for you.
do you have any thoughts about it?
Bro, this should be my solo album cover.
Like, do you have any thoughts about like the card?
Bro, I'm not one of those guys. Like, I hate generalizations because since they're general, you can apply your own personal situations to it.
Is it cool if I like get a close up of the art on the card?
But I like,
Yeah.
yeah, that's what I was doing. Well,
Because I think it looks pretty sick.
this one was better. It was so much better.
This is literally Tristan on the card.
That's actually me though.
Anyways, do you have any thoughts?
I think, I mean, for what I was asking, it like kind of applies because I want to be able to. I think like a big issue, like I was stressing at work the other day. Yesterday I was stressing at work. I had to clean. I had to clean my room and like my car like needs oil and I just had like a bunch of shit that I needed to get done and I didn't have time because I had work. But I was like, I need to go to work or else I don't have money to pay for the things that I need to get done. So it was kind of just like I needed to figure out like a balance. I eventually figured that out towards the end of the day. Like I got home and I like calmed down and I like figured it out. But that's been like a big thing right now in my life is like balancing all that shit because I'm getting into fighting and like just being at work. I feel like it takes a lot of time, but I need to work in order to pay for the things I want to do.
There are definitely.
That seems serious. Was that serious Tristan stream?
Yeah. First ever.
First ever.
Are we ready for the next card?
Yeah, I'm ready.
It should be.
Got the ace.
Okay. Look at that.
Ace of Pentacles. Very cool art. Love that card.
I got 2 pentacles.
Pentacles are about like balancing like, your financial, social life, like kind of value, your time, things like that.
Well, I'm broke as shit. I spent too much money. I literally just bought this and I was like, right after, I was like, fuck, I shouldn't have done that.
This is kind of fun.
This is fun. Actually, I'm like enjoying it. Plus, Jack kind of knows some shit, so.
Yeah, I do be known.
Jack Graham, thank you for the stream art.
I love it.
Alright, are you ready?
Uh-huh.
So, we have the Ace of Coins, Ace of Pentacles. It's the
Street.
same card. Alright.
Sorry. That was like Instagram.
The Ace of Coins represents opportunity. It is not a guarantee of concrete success, nor even a promise, but it's an open door, a possibility. Sometimes this card literally indicates a gift of money, or the successful securing of a grant or some other monetary windfall. Other times, it is simply a shot at a new job, and sometimes it is the excitement of a career idea. Either way, the appearance of this card says, don't spend that money, invest it. Use whatever good fortune or energy this card represents to start something bigger.
Turn it off again.
Sorry, the camera was just started. Keep going.
The art on the card features a tiny rose seedling. I like this thing.
Is that what these are? Or
Well, like this is the same card. This is just a different art interpretation. I guess.
Oh,
of that card. Its best use in a long term. Plant it in the ground and find out what you need to do to take care of it. Don't feel discouraged that it's only a seedling. Before this moment, you didn't even have that. And if you work hard, one day you will have roses. But yet,
okay.
yeah, that's done. That's it. What do you got to say about that one? That's a good card. I
Fuck
like
that, dude.
That means fuck that.
No, like in a good way. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like shut up. No, like
I like this one more because I can zoom.
Yeah, I like that one. Just get the cards.
Well, yeah,
But
I don't know how long the batteries can last.
for me personally, I feel like this applies to like the same thing with like the time management thing.
Yeah.
Just because it's money, but it's saying that like I have something that doesn't make money, but it's going to make money in the future. Those
You
are
have
one
two
of the-
things that are doing that.
Yeah, I have fighting, and I have this.
Yeah, and Sean got that kind of.
And I feel like this is just my own interpretation on your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
The Two of Pentacles also directly correlates to that idea that you have two different things that you need to be able to attend to and focus on at the same time. Even just aside from work, having Slompy, and then you also have getting into MMA also at the same time. I mean, also I guess a third thing with work, but apparently that's not as important to you
Yeah.
as Slompy or doing like fighting.
Mm-hmm.
And so I mean, I feel like these cards are pretty
These
good.
have been pretty good. Like I don't believe in this shit, but like to apply it to
Do you
the
want to do
real-
like a full 7, or do you want to do more?
you can do
Do 7.
We're
7.
how many did you do?
7.
Oh, okay, do 7.
Alright, so on to the next card.
Doing some pretty great shots of you guys. I think.
That's
So
my
now
favorite
we've got the Magician.
Magician.
and it's got another pentacle,
I love the way it weighs in my hand too.
bro. It keeps giving me pentacles.
Well, it has one of every suit in here. It has swords, cups, and coins, pentacles. It's just one of every suit. It's the Magician.
Okay, explain. But yeah,
It's
what
a
I was gonna say after you finish. Sorry.
Go ahead.
The rosary idea about like whatever. I was like watching a bunch of like I don't know, this one dude this weekend on Saturday beat a former UFC champion after when he was 20 years old. Started like he was delivering pizza and he pulled up to these jiu-jitsu guys and he didn't know what jiu-jitsu was or what MMA was, and they just gave him a rundown. And then he was like, okay. And then the next weekend, he was in a gym signing up for classes. And then, like, he said after... Can we get a replay on that fart? Somebody clip that. That was a good one. That was audible. Anyways, he like after that, he was like about my age. He was like 20, 21 or something. And he started fighting, and he just beat a former UFC champ in 5 rounds in a dominant fashion. And like that gave me like a bit of like, I look back, I'm like, shit, I'm 20 now. I'm starting this fighting thing. Like, who knows? I may not get to that point, but like seeing that somebody like that just delivering pizza and not knowing anything, and then me knowing some things and then getting into it gives me like a bit of hope, you know? But anyways, you can go on with the Magician.
So, in particular with the Magician, this is a card of the major arcana, like death. The 21 cards of the major arcana. You really want to pay attention to those cards more than anything else. They usually directly correlate with whatever question you're asking. They are important. You need to pay attention to what these cards have to say specifically.
This one?
Like, this is part of the major arcana. It's not part of like the cups, swords, or pentacle suit. It is part of the major arcana.
So that means
It is a very important card, and you want to pay attention to whatever this thing has to say, and pay attention to any relevancy to your situation, whatever you're asking about. Because whatever it has to say about that is very important. Yeah. So, and also some keywords. Think about these, like ability, versatility, control, and connections. That's like some pretty good descriptive keywords to describe like what the Magician card kind of says is
Can you say that
does
again?
ability, versatility, control, and connections. So the Magician is no illusionist. He's the real deal. I've always loved the Magician card as he is sort of an unsinkable ship. You can't keep someone down if they are always capable of building themselves back up again. The art in the card depicts a hand tattooed with all of the symbols of the tarot deck. Like this one.
That's true. It is a little bit.
And this is because the Magician has skill in all of the suits. The infinity symbol illustrates how his command over all of these suits comes from something outside him. Comes from something outside him. If you believe in something more, this is the something more department. Regardless of who or what you believe in, the magician is an extraordinary master of all trades, and he is resilient because no matter what the world throws at him, no matter how much he loses, he will always have the most powerful tool at his command, himself. His command over all the suits actually gives him more power than the sum of the parts. Since he is familiar with all of the suits, he can find connections between them and use them to even greater effect. When the magician appears in your spread, it's a sign to let yourself be inspired by this powerful example. Remember that a truly powerful person is balanced and confident, equally at ease with logic, emotions, creativity, and hard work. The magician tells you this is possible if you remember that your power is larger than your physical body.
Fuck. Oh my god. I love that. These have really been on the nose, and I hate that.
Yeah?
Well, that's like the point.
Oh, good one.
It's because you were willing to like be a little bit more vulnerable. Just allow me.
Yeah, I did feel a little vulnerable, to be honest. But
And that's a good thing. It's a
I mean, I didn't originally ask this question, and it's like a little bit more, but like it feels like I definitely.
it's
like,
something
I know-
that you need to hear.
Yeah, and it was like, this is irrelevant that it connects, because you were talking about connections, and I'm like, these have connected to my original question in some sort of way. But like, it's really I really believe. I was saying earlier on Smash, I was like, you gotta know everything. You gotta be a master of like all of them, so you do random. You can master all the characters, and you're the best. So this is like that exact philosophy. That's why I like MMA, because like if you know everything, like if you know just about everything, and like you just don't stop, then like you can beat anybody. It's like a matter of time. That's crazy.
Have any like more thoughts about it?
I mean, to my original question, because I've been answering the other like question, like the big original question that I was asking. And I really believe that it has so far these have applied, especially the magician. Just like, that was a good one. And that it was a major one, like that, like
Part of the major arcana. Yeah, so you really want to pay attention to that.
yeah, I really did. It caught my attention.
You ready? Ready for the next card?
Yes.
Ready for the next card.
Okay.
So we've got the Eight of Cups. Okay. This definitely may not have a similar correlation to this question. It can, I guess, technically, because the cup suit has to deal with relationships and friendships. It's more of that part, less of the just pure logic side of things. It is more of the how you feel about things type beat. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I get you. Is there like these are artistic interpretations, correct?
These are artistic interpretations.
Okay. Because I was like, is there a reason that they're like molded that way?
No.
It's a weird ass cups.
We've got the Eight of Cups. Use the art there if you want to see it.
Feathers.
We've got the art here, an alternate art. With the cards that I have.
Can you imagine if I went Henry James?
Alright.
That'd be bad.
Are you ready? So, I should have been doing this in the beginning. So, keywords of keywords of the Eight of Cups. And Eight of Cups, it can be interpreted as like maybe not one of the better cards. But yeah, keywords are like stagnation. Shut the fuck up.
It just looks really funny right now with the camera on.
Alrighty. Anyways, so the keywords are stagnation, moving, and dissatisfaction. These are some keywords to think about while reading this. Okay, so it says I chose to use an image of reflected feathers on the Eight of Cups to call back to the reflected image on the Four of Cups. Both the 4 and the 8 speak to stagnation and plateauing in your relationships. The difference is that the 4 represents new relationships suffering because of neglect, and the 8 represents established relationships that are simply not satisfying. The situation in many ways has become untenable, and the longer you stew in it, the more nothing happens. The floating feathers on the card aren't going anywhere without a wind of change. When you see this card, it's an acknowledgement that your emotional situation is simply not working for you. Not only does it not satisfy you, it seems unfixable. When you imagine all the steps required to make it into a place you'd like to stay, you grow exhausted and continue to not move. The only course of action is to take yourself out of the situation. You need to shed the things in your life that aren't working for you. It's time to realize that you have the power to be that wind of change and whirl yourself away.
I need to get a new job.
Have you been thinking about that for a while?
Dude. I was like, what does that mean? What does it mean? And then he like ended it, and I was just like, that's it.
This one, shwig.
You need to find a new job. I need to find a new job. I got this card in one of my
I don't know how
readings.
soon, but like,
I got the same card in one of my readings that I did last night because it was one of my coworkers, and we're both like, I want out of this place. If I'm not getting promoted
that's just
soon
weird.
after she leaves, because she's already a captain, but she's leaving the store. And I'm like, if I don't get promoted, I'm out.
Tastes
So-
like avocado.
Anyways, do you have any thoughts about that card?
No, I mean, for my original question, I feel like it doesn't really apply. I mean, you kind of said that it doesn't really correlate to these cards.
I mean, I'm not saying I was just like thinking based
Yeah.
off what you said that
Mhm.
might not directly correlate. But I mean, pay attention to any correlation it does have.
Yeah, I'm like taking the imagery of like the fact that the magician has like a cup in the picture, and then there's cups. Like that's a part of me, so it's like connected within the relationships.
Mhm.
I mean, I feel like it like would connect, but I think it's more of like my want to move from that stagnation and like acknowledgement of like the magician of like knowing it's gonna work out.
Yeah.
I feel like it works in that regard of like I am in a stagnant state, but I understand that I'm gonna get out of the stagnant state.
Yeah.
My voice just seems weird. But yeah. Okay. I'm good with 3 more cards. 3 more cards.
On to the next one. So we've
Dude,
got
Slompy therapy.
the seven.
Everyone said this is
7 of cups.
Dude, I got 7 cups now.
7 cups.
It's
Eight of cups,
connected.
and we've got the 7 cups. Okay, so
There's a lot going on
check. 7 of cups is an interesting. Yep, interesting looking card. I'm not gonna lie. It's pretty interesting.
there. Good.
We got the 7 of cups. If you want to look at the alternate imagery, we've got it right here. If you want to look at
Oh wow. Oh, it's crow.
that. Pros and subcultures. Okay, so keywords to think about is got some keywords to think about here. Choices, temptation, options, and wishful thinking. Some keywords to think about. Okay, so the 7 of Cups shows a variety of choices. Some of them immediately satisfying, some of them immediately deadly, and some of them spiritually enriching. When the 7 of Cups appears in a reading, it's a sign that you're facing a lot of choices, and many of them might not even be real choices. Instead, after the fanciful meditation of the 6 of Cups, your thoughts are full of imagined possibilities, and it wouldn't be too hard to convince yourself that some of those daydreams might be actual choices here and now. Moreover, of the choices that do exist, many of them would do far more harm than good. Now is a time to choose at random. Now is not a time to choose at random, nor is it a time to choose lightly. This card has an implication of temptation because it's a cups card. It can often lead. It can often mean infidelity. It can also mean any other choice that will offer you immediate gratification but terrible consequences. Step carefully. Among all the snakes and riches. What?
I get the death card next, I'm fucking running out of this room.
What do you mean? What do you mean? What?
Are you gonna make a great mistake?
Maybe it's like in my
Hold on, I'm not
choice
done.
of like, okay,
Step
wait.
carefully among all the snakes and riches, and prestige in the birds' beaks are also choices that will bring you spiritual fulfillment and satisfying relationships. Think about like your options. You have to weigh out your options with friends, family, like like with your girlfriend, whatever it may be. I don't know. Really think about the options you have. You don't want to jump to some conclusion that seems like you have a more immediate gratification, maybe something else that in the long term seemed like it would work better. You probably want to go for the latter. That's kind of, I feel like, what the cards are saying. It's just in general.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, I feel like it's just like because it has to do with choices and like the whole balancing aspect of it. When it applies to all that, it's kind of just like sometimes I just feel like if I have so much going on, like just giving in and not trying any of those things, and then kind of just being like, fuck it, whatever happens, happens. But I think when it was saying like you can't choose lightly, you can't just like give it to it, you have to actually choose. So
That was like, that's what got you.
yeah, it's just like the part of like I always think about like I think I just give in really easily,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like when I'm giving in, I'm just giving up the chance to fulfill like a choice I could have made,
Instead of
or like
just the,
or like fulfilling like a wish that I would have had, being like, oh, I wanted to see how that would have played out.
Mhm.
But like since I chose
since you chose the alternate option, you just do that.
it chose the option of like there's like one of the options would just be like doing nothing,
Mhm.
and like I would just be like, okay, I'll just do nothing. So like,
Yeah, you
yeah,
can't do that.
yeah, when you don't do anything about it, then it still stays that way. So it's kind of like if I just give in, I'm not gonna accomplish.
You're not gonna progress.
Yeah, because like I'm thinking the immediate death or like terrible consequences. Like kind of like if I fuck up in like any sort of matter, like then I just kind of like, oh okay, like that's it, like that's my choice. I'll just be like whatever, instead of being like, oh I have plenty more options here to go through. But I'm inspired by this fella right here.
Yeah,
It's
as you should be.
That's like kicking me into gear right now. Like in my head, being like, I gotta be the magician.
You ready?
Do a new fight game, the magician.
Are you ready for the next card?
Yeah.
It's number 6, and we've got the Queen of Wands. So Wands is another suit. Wands is another suit. Has to do with Wands generally has to do with like creativity, like the artful, like the artsy side of things, I guess, or being able to you to like what you can think of your own imagination. Has to do with that. So we're gonna go all the way over to the Queen of Wands. Let's see what the Queen's got to say for us today. Let's see what the ye old Queen has to say.
You like my side profile? Do I look enough ape? Do I look ape-like enough?
Yeah. Okay. So keywords.
He was just like, yeah, you look ape-like. Okay.
No. Sorry. So yeah, some keywords: creativity, passion, ferocity, and confidence. Okay. So the Queen of Wands breathes fire. She's powerful, ambitious, creative, and she's not afraid of all the challenges that come with those 3 things. She knows what she wants, the world. Although she can be stubborn, she knows what she wants after all, and she's pretty sure she knows best how to get it. She attracts others to her because of her generosity of spirit. It can be appealing to. What?
What?
Stop. Stop having like your own little. Stop. I don't appreciate it. It can be appealing to hand your problems over to her, because she will use her ferocity and passion to tackle them with the same energy as she tackles her own. In fact, she might take them from you against your will, because the queen is so certain that she has the best solution to problems that it's difficult for her to let a bad situation fester without her interference. This maternal protection is both the best and worst thing with the Queen of Wands. She's gifted at balancing. She's good at balancing her own ambitions with the needs of her brood, but she can also be overbearing and vicious when she feels her turf is being threatened. All of the wands make bad enemies, but the queen finds it hard to let go. When you see the queen, it's a reminder that all of us are capable of breathing fire. Be certain that the situation needs your stream and then blast away.
Damn. What a bitch. How long was it?
Shut the fuck up. What do you gotta say about the card?
That's about it.
Digging me up.
What do you...
I don't know. It's like the part. I think that it's like representing the part of it that I can't control. Like so far, these have been the part that I can control, and like the choices I can make.
Yeah.
What I do to balance my life, and then this is the part where it's not the balance anymore that I can do. It's the balance that like to get all wishy-washy, the universe could do. You know, like the stuff that I can't control is what she's in control. I feel like that's what that card represents.
Yeah.
For me. So even when I do, in the end, make my choices, like that's the say-all. As like whatever turns out to be that way, that's the way. But I guess if I come to terms with like the Queen of Wands, I could come to terms easier with inevitability. Yeah.
You know what I feel like is playing the role of the Queen of Wands in your life right now? Your mom.
I didn't even think about that, but yeah, I don't know about that, but
That's kind of like what I'm...
I mean,
it's kind of just happening because as long as you're still in your house, she's just... I mean, you can't do anything but listen to what she says.
I mean that is true. I mean, it wasn't really correlating to like in my mind. I mean that is
This is just something that I was thinking.
yeah. No, I'm not. I can definitely understand that, and that's a perspective I didn't even think about. So it was interesting, but I think it's more like I just can't in the end control it all. Like even though I have a bunch of choices to make, and I can or cannot make those choices, things just happen.
Things just happen regardless.
Like if I'm like, oh, I'm gonna drive down the highway, and the car next to me gets in an accident or I get in an accident, that's not up to me most of the time, unless I decided to like do something stupid beforehand. Then I'm in control. But like in my mind, it's definitely like,
I mean, and
you know,
going back
thing.
to which card was it? Going back to one of the other cards I mentioned, thinking about more about your options rather than thinking more about your options rather than just jumping into new things, jumping into conclusions, whatever it is. Thinking longer and harder about things before you do things, and I mean that can really apply to everything. And like, I mean, yes, in some points you don't want to be sitting in that moment of hesitation or that haze of hesitation when you're in the middle of something. But it's also too important to think about some logical actions and outcomes of things that happen when you make a choice. Right.
Yeah, I liked it so far. It's been a big therapy pleasure.
Right. You've got stars.
Boobies! Boobies! Get some boobies in there! Boobies, 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 boobies. It's a drawing, it's okay, it's artistic.
It's artistic expression.
Okay.
Okay, don't show for too long.
Alright, yeah, no titties for too long.
Can't have too long of
So-
titties.
That's 17.
No
That's
titties
stars.
for too long. Yo, what's up? Paul Agnostico. Ignacio.
Alright, are we ready for this? Are we ready for me to start reading this?
Yes.
Alright, so some keywords to think about for this one in particular. Hope, inspiration, self-esteem, and generosity. There definitely seems to be a theme of like things like kind of correlating with each other in this. So the meaning of the star, hope, new possibilities, positivity, can seem somewhat frothy if you read it without considering.
Woo!
Thank you.
Go ahead.
Swag. Can seem somewhat frothy if you read it without considering the cards it follows in the major arcana. All the inspiration is nice, but it's not really an action item. But if you think about how the star follows the Group of Death, Devil, and Tower cards, the positivity and represented in it is a pretty stunning accomplishment. Everything has changed for the person holding this card, and yet this complete turnaround hasn't broken them down. In fact, the opposite. The searing experience of complete personal transformation has left them a new creature, wide-eyed, unwise, lighter for having shed their personal demons and false beliefs. The world is a hopeful place to the star, and she is generous with her experience, freely telling her story of transformation to those who are just beginning.
I'm sweating.
Freely telling the story of her transformation to those who are just beginning their own journeys. When you get this card, it can be assigned to use your recent harrowing experiences to help others. It can also be an acknowledgement that the searing fire you just survived has left you feeling a little unsteady, and a nudge toward hope. You've survived, you've changed, and now you're ready to move forward. You're wondering where you go from here, anywhere, at all.
Bro, you're gonna make me. I'm fucking crying right now.
Dude, that looks so Asian. Oh my god.
It's because you're crying.
Oh my god.
Wow.
How do we feel about this?
Man, that fucked me up. That fucked me up a little bit. I don't believe in any of this. And this, like, just took me for a fucking trip, man. Well, I don't even know how to think about it. I might be getting into all this later. You know what I mean?
I'm gonna be talking about this for the next, like, 3 years.
If you want to like take a picture of the spread so you can like kind of do like your own research on it.
No, bro, this is stuck in my head. This is, like, crazy.
I mean, just in case you want to like go back to information in case something comes up and you're like, whoa.
We have it on stream permanently.
Yeah.
Yeah, we do indeed. So what do you think about this card in particular? Good or bad?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not. I mean, I've definitely, like, gone through. I'm going through change.
Don't feel pressured to share if you don't want to.
Yeah, like, I mean, if anything, like Jake knows what's up. Like,
No, just
yeah. Huh?
Yeah.
Yeah. But, like, yeah, I understood it. That hit really close to home. Feeling, like, accomplished and satisfied and, what was the other word? Like, inspired. I don't know, just like a bunch of like positive stuff was gonna be going on, but the whole thing about like the star burning and shit, that was crazy because I mean, I guess I did kind of without realizing it really survive the burning star. Yeah.
Amy. You know Amy.
Yeah. I mean, I'm really happy with this. This like made me like really think about a lot. I mean, I went in asking an original question about like kind of like like more or less balancing like time, and it kind of answered that like almost immediately, and then went into more of like capped off with like
Wait.
inevitable.
I should think you're so funny. Sorry.
It capped off with like inevitability and like
So you're documenting.
yeah, bro, yeah. It's like this, like Sean was saying, it was like a story. Like I followed this the whole way through. And that really like that took me for a little bit of a roller coaster. But I really like. I was gonna say I like the last two cards, but I like all of them because they make so much sense to me in whatever order. But like this order is really that like really got me. I feel like the opposite order would have been like a lot less like satisfying to me, I
I
guess.
feel like this one was very specific. You know?
Yeah, I feel like I
It was
took.
very organized. Yeah.
Yeah, I felt like it hit me close to home because there was a specific like pattern that I saw, and like if you notice, it was like one thing I'm pointing out is like it went from the pentacles to the pentacle to another pentacle, and there's a cup there, and then there's cups here, a little less cups here. Then she's got the wands, which also controls the magician, and then I was talking about the magician right before you pulled the card, and then he was on a woman, and then another woman like appeared, and like the star, and like the gold. I'm really attaching my eye to for sure.
All right, Jake, are you ready for yours?
That was like
Yeah.
oh fuck you, Jack. Here, I need water first. Oh, wait, Jake, change into your maid outfit before you do it.
No, I'm not. I don't want to do that right now.
It's gonna be sweet.
Yeah.
Yo,
I'm gonna.
what is up?
Get some water.
Get some water.
Doing some tarot card readings in here, ladies and gentlemen.
Dude,
Next time I'm going to be doing Jake's, and last I'm going to do my own reading.
You're gonna do your own reading?
Yeah, I'm going to do my own. Why not?
Yeah.
Just like think about something that I want to ask the cards, and I'm going to go ahead and ask it.
I like that. I like that. That was fun.
Yeah.
Actually, I almost started crying like pretty decent in there too.
It's a good feeling every once in a while.
Yeah. I feel like I've been more of a bitch lately too. Like more, well, at least more able to like. I was a bitch before, but I feel like I'm like crying for good reason now, rather than.
Something that's
Oh my god! Look, we got look. Look, Jake's on stream right now.
No, he's not. He's not on there.
Oh, Jake, you gotta change the camera. It's so funny. Pointing to Jake in the fridge.
God.
Jake, change the camera. It's so good.
Jake.
God damn it, that's
He's
so
not going
funny.
to. His mom's.
He's like just getting food from the fridge. Wait, turn this camera to it. Turn this camera to it. He's coming up the stairs.
Fuck you. You're on my camera.
Yeah, you're. No.
No.
We got
We were too far. We were trying to tell you to
water
do it.
the whole
Yeah,
time.
you were like getting water and like your mom came into the shot. a couple
Alright, Jake.
times. She wasn't on stream though. It was just on that
No,
like,
yeah.
little
Okay,
area.
some of that.
Alright, you guys have to do. One of you guys have to do the camera switching.
I'm not
This is
doing
recording.
that. No, I'm not touching buttons. You know how I am with computers. You at least know.
You just need to go through 3,
Yeah, let's
4, and
switch
5.
together.
3, 4, and 5 are the cameras that
You
you
need
want.
the
Just press
special
3.
camera.
I want you to come sit right here, Jake. Come sit right here.
Yes. Like it'll be number 3,
Or
4,
actually,
and 5.
maybe
3
come, like,
is this
come sit,
camera.
like across from me, like over here.
3 is that camera.
They sit across from me, so we get a better view.
4, and then that's that one. Okay, Tristan, get the camera.
Alright, Jake.
Okay.
So first of all,
But that camera might turn off, so you can just turn it back on.
The other camera, the nice one.
okay.
No, you get the nice one.
I want to make sure I have knocked all of the back protections, all of the cleanse the cards ready for a
You're gonna
But make sure you don't
knock
ignore
in
it.
front of
Don't
that
like
camera,
take a break.
like his camera right there.
Huh?
Knock it in front of Jake's camera so it's like point of view.
No,
Oh,
but
wow.
Sean has to switch the camera.
Sean, switch
We
the
can't
camera.
take a break for water ever.
So. Oh, it's like the lake. It's a lake. Knocking all the intentions out of the last little session I did here. Alright?
Oh, it is? What's
Yeah, it's
bad
not
about it? What's bad about the mic?
Whoopsies. It's fine. I'm gonna shuffle them anyways.
That's literally all of them. Are they supposed coming out for a reason?
Just not shuffling them
Yo,
yet. We're ignoring that.
if you drop the whole deck,
No.
Is that bad luck?
So, what I want you to do, hold on to these cards.
Is the mic really bad though? I want to know.
Hold on to them. Ignore that for a second. Ignore that for a second. Think about this. Think about what you would ask the cards. What kind of like, whatever question, whatever kind of advice you want from it, just like think about it. And just focus as hard as you can on trying to put that energy into these cards.
Switch back and forth.
Yeah, I know.
Whatever.
I don't get warmed up to like what I need to plan.
It was hard. I need to like. It was hard for me to focus because I'm thinking about.
Don't think about me for a
No, I
second.
know, I know.
I got the hang of it, alright?
Okay. Do you want to like just
He's got it. No
hold
worry.
on to these for a second? Just focus. Focus on this. Try to just let yourself be a little bit more vulnerable and just let whatever that cards are going to see come out. Alright. Just shuffle these cards. Kind of bad luck to be looking at. Oh, shuffling it. Okay, it's not good. Water.
Dude, I was looking at them the whole time.
It's fine.
Fuck.
Oh, it just matters whether I'm looking at them or not because I'm shuffling. So it doesn't matter whether you're looking at them. I was just saying that.
I felt like I got a really good one. I felt like I had a spiritual awakening.
Because you're just like focusing.
We're all turning into real crystal
Jake.
monkeys
Jake. Jake.
What?
Jake.
No.
That would that'd be fucking wild.
No.
Sure.
I mean, like maybe another time.
DMT. Dude, DMT and tarot cards? You wouldn't know where you are. Change the camera. Change the camera to you, Sean. Change the camera to my camera. This is a murderer. This is what a murderer looks like.
And these cards fall out. I will down. Put them in the reading here. I'm just gonna try and shuffle this more loosely so I can see if anything besides the one I come out and play today. Too many cards I come out here.
Get a second angle on those nails. Ooh, that's a good one.
It's a big chunk.
Nice shot.
That's a big chunk.
Dude, it keeps getting fucked up, bro.
It's fine. We're just gonna see.
Okay, you literally look how many.
We're gonna go with it.
Jay.
Dude, I have so many, dude.
Fucked up. Okay, wait.
Because you didn't focus your energies. It's just gonna give you a bunch of general.
I tried my best to focus my energy.
It's okay.
Can we do a reshuffle?
You want me to?
So you could move
It's a lot.
out.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're reshuffling.
We're just gonna restart completely.
We just have silence.
Nice and focus. Just try to just let your energies flow through. Just let it flow, come out, let your energies be like, let me absorb your energies so you can interpret and get a good reading from these cards for the question you may want to ask them. Whatever question you are asking them, you can get a good reading from them. Whatever you're ready. Alright, let's see what we're getting at here.
No, I love filming on this camera so much. It makes me feel like a cinematographer. You can understand why people
It's almost dead.
like dads in the 2000s were fucking buying these and stuff.
It's almost dead. You might put change it out.
Where's that here?
Where's the?
Quite a few jigsaw this time. I like the music. It looks so stacked.
Let's give it a try. Let's see what we got here. Really keeping in mind, like, whatever it is that you want to ask of these cards here.
Oh, Beverly said Jake's hands really said.
Yeah, I know that
Well, no one commented on the
Alright,
next
so
before.
I am going to start off with the first card. It's the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords. This is really scary. It's an interesting card. It can be scary, but it can also be a good thing. It could just be something to keep in mind.
That's so true.
Dude,
It just depends on
It's
whatever
me
you're
the most relaxed I've ever seen all of you at once. That's pretty
Alright, let's what's up? Let's keep in mind some of these keywords here about this card. Oh, depression, introversion, and fear. Okay.
I see the picture on there. Oh wow. Yeah, Jake, you're screwed. Oh.
This is not necessarily a bad thing. It's just general advice to keep things in mind. This card is perhaps the most fearful in the deck, but is impressive because when it appears, there may, in fact, be absolutely nothing to be afraid of. Of course, there might be everything to be afraid of too, but this card isn't particularly concerned with that. The Knight of Swords looks at the weather conditions inside of you, not outside your window, and therefore is 100% rain with a chance of hail or at the end of the world. Chance of hail or the end of the world. Yeah. This is the depression part. Whether it is earned or not, you can stop yourself you can stop yourself from thinking the worst. Sometimes it's something that's already happened, something you can't forget, maybe the heartbreak of the Three of Swords, or maybe it's something that you fear will happen, maybe the absolute ending of the Ten of Swords. Either way, you live in a toxic black mire of fear or guilt. It's not wrong to feel this way, but it's impossible to live this way. Nothing gets done when you're in the Nine of Swords. Everything turns inward, and eventually your introspection paralyzes you entirely. Unlike the Four of Swords, which encourages inaction, the Nine of Swords isn't condoning this paralysis. This isn't useful introspection. You're not meditating or learning anything about yourself. Get up, dust yourself off, and start making active solutions.
Okay. That's interesting.
What do you think, Sons? What are your thoughts?
Well, I feel like I've been like a little like, I don't know. I've recently been like a little like lost recently, you know, of like what I'm supposed to do because it feels like I'm doing like I don't know. Like it feels like I'm like going nowhere at my job, you know. It feels like I'm putting all my effort into Slompy and stuff, and like I don't know. I feel like it's been kind of like I've been putting too much into it maybe, and like I've just kind of been blinded by like I've been too worried about it because I don't know. I worry a lot about Slompy stuff, and like sometimes like I don't even need to worry about it, you know. Like even like when we were away from the stream at intermission, you know, I was just like, fuck, we gotta get back to stream, you know. And it's like I feel like I care a little too much about stuff like that, and I gotta like slow down, you know, because there's no rush. Because I feel like I'm always rushing to do things because like I don't know what's gonna happen, so I should get it done, you know.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Let's see. We've got.
What was the camera gonna do?
We've got the Eight of Wands. The Eight of Wands and Wand suit is very centered around creativity, ingenuity, kind of like your creativeness of your mind. Let's go all the way over to Seven of Wands. I like this. Eight of Wands. I like this one. I like this one a lot. So, the keywords are quick action, force, and movement. Finally, everything has fallen into place when the Eight of Wands appears. You have a goal in mind. Experience surges through you. You know you have the skills to accomplish it. There might be a few obstacles, but even they are easily surmountable. This, I mean, I can argue this kind of directly correlates to what you're saying. Just in general about, like, I know how you feel about Slompy and how important it is to you. And, of course, we all think eventually he's going to make it somewhere. Yeah, this was to do it. It's just going to take some time. Well, I mean, again, like I said, there might be a few obstacles, but even they are easily surmountable. You already know how you're going to tackle them, so now's the time to move. Don't hesitate, because this wide open opportunity might not reappear for a long time. It's wise, too, to remember that it's your positivity that's driving the energy of this card. Even though circumstances may have aligned to make this easier for you, it's still your own confidence and skills that are making this a sure bet. So believe in yourself and send your creative arrows over the ramparts. Your ideas are good, they're hot, and they need to move with decisive strength now. Don't wait. Now. The card has to say.
Damn.
I love this card. It's a very like powerful, and you have to. It's just.
But I feel like
And it kind of my interpretation of this card. It's a very chaotic card. Not necessarily, because this is like the oppressions card, so to speak. As far as just kind of talking about like you were kind of in a rut. This card is telling you now you need to move. You need to get out of that. You need to start focusing on what you want to pursue with whatever it is. You need to focus on it, and you need to like pull out the big guns and just throw it up, like throw whatever you can out here and now, and start doing it. So I think this card directly correlates to this card, and
yeah,
I guess what you were saying about
So,
this
like,
one.
it's telling me to quit my job.
Dude, why do we fuck? I hope Jose's not watching this.
Telling you to quit
fucking
your job,
fire.
and then also telling you to focus your energy.
Because I mean, I've been
passionate
thinking about that all the time. Like, I'm like, bro, like, could I just like, just go for it?
Dude, I want to go for it, but I have to pay rent, so.
No,
I'm
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
I'm
my
out.
thing. So it's like, I don't know how to get another job where I can still go for it. You know, it's like, but yeah.
It's tough, but I mean, now's probably the best time to do it.
No, I know
the
it
best
is.
time, not even just for Slompy in general, I guess, but maybe so looking for like another job maybe that can like that'll like benefit you, you know, like your time schedule, like how you what days you want off, like how much time you need, whatever it is for like other things like your other film editing, whether it is you need to get your mom like a job that is flexible with giving you like interchangeable days and you can have like a flexible schedule at a job. Now is a very good time to do that. A lot of people are going to be starting to look for jobs soon, but also the thing is that things are starting to open up again.
Yeah.
And now is the time you want to be looking for a job.
Yeah.
Especially, I mean, maybe not. It could not even just be like you're not looking for a regular job. You could find it like some sort of opportunities with film, and then you can make some bigger and better connections there. Kind of
No, yeah, that's what I was thinking too.
like like along that side of the that side of the
Live streaming stuff.
I mean, not even just that, just like film in general, just getting like some major connections, because even that may not directly help Slompy. It could also give it some connections to have
No, yeah.
more
Well, like I've been like
accessibility to equipment and things.
I've been like thinking about it and like the oh, you can move that camera face me too, or if it's off. Well, like I've been thinking about it because like with just like I know a lot about live stream. It's number 3. Oh, it's off. You have to hold it for a long time. But I've been thinking about it and like let's switch it off of it while it's off so that they don't see black.
Okay, I think it's on.
Like I can like use my skills that I've learned through live streaming because like a lot of like everybody now wants to live stream. Any like film job I've had, like they want to live stream it as well. You know, so like yeah, and I just did a pretty successful live stream. I feel like that might help too. But yeah, yo, ready for the next card?
Let's see what we got here.
Tickle the deck.
We have the sun. What's the difference?
I got the. Fuck! I just took the battery out.
Nice one, idiot. Come on, Tristan. Number 19. The sun.
Number 19.
Sun.
We have the sun. So, some keywords to think about this one are solutions, clear-sightedness, hope, and self-awareness. After the murky uncertainty of the moon and the searing trauma of the devil, death, and dark rights, the sun has come out. With the sun comes light and vitality, and above all, awareness. You can finally see the truth with unbiased eyes. In clear daylight, the world reveals itself to you. You finally, after the arduous journey to get here, you feel equal to the task of living in it. The sun is in many ways the opposite of the moon. With all of the ladder's veiled perils, but the sun shouldn't feel like such a victory if you weren't so infinitely familiar with how it felt to stumble in the dark. The longer you've been wandering in uncertainty, the more you can appreciate the sudden glorious surety. When the sun appears in your reading, don't doubt the hints of consciousness you feel coming at the edge of your consciousness. Don't doubt the hint of confidence you feel toying at the edge of your consciousness. It's not a fleeting mood. It's not unfounded. It's the beginning of a time of power and wisdom, of control and happiness. Hope and possibility have matured into joy and reality. So snatch the sun in your hand and use it to light your way. What do you think?
Well, I feel like it's kind of just reinforcing that, but then also just like I've been kind of exploring myself and like realizing things about myself.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like I'm going in the right direction with that.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's good.
Period.
That's
We're like,
hard.
It's like you were
living in the darkness, meaning like not able to express herself, but also repressing it, so not even realizing what it was like to live in the sunlight, like how it was talking about.
Yeah, exactly.
Damn, Sean. What?
Period.
Sean just put it out there and snapped, sis.
Also, Beverly, this is a space ambient music live 24/7. So,
There you go.
You are ready for the next one. Ace of Swords.
Oh.
Ace of Swords. Ooh, that's a fun one. I like Ace of Swords.
Ooh. So do an ooh face.
Ooh, look at Ace of Swords.
Tarot card reading.
I get my cards read.
Alright. Are you
I
ready?
get green carded.
I get my cards read.
So, some keywords to think about with the Ace of Swords are logic, clarity, and power. So, when you see the Ace of Swords, it means that you're about to cut through the gloom surrounding a confusing situation. The cool blade of logic can slice through all uncertainty down to the truth of the issue, neatly decapitating indecision. The Ace promises mental clarity, but sometimes at the expense of feelings. It's impossible to talk about this suit without talking about the double edge of the sword. Logic is an effective tool, but it can also be the deadliest of weapons. Without the tempering softness of emotions, it can kill both attacker and defender in one fell blow. When the Ace of Swords appears, it's showing you that you have an opportunity to cut through a cloud of conflicted feelings to the truth of the matter. In this case, it's probably a truth about you, which is why the hand on the card is reaching for a glowing star of inspiration. Like this one here.
Wait, here, show the camera. Oh, it's the hand with all the tarot readings.
Yeah.
Oh, like the magician.
So, searching for a glowing star of inspiration. Spirituality and logic sometimes seems like opposites, but not in the case of this card. Use the ace carefully to cut to the core of what you believe. What do you think? What do you think about this one?
honestly, I don't know. I mean, I guess it's just kind of reinforcing everything else of just like getting to the truth, I guess. I don't know. But just like I gotta like just I don't know.
It just seems like it was talking about how I feel like Jake, you're very much like a creature of
logic.
Rather than like kind of being in touch with your feelings, you know what I mean? And I don't know, maybe it's just, and it was talking about how they could sometimes be at your own detriment.
Well, yeah, it is.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish I could feel more, but like, yeah.
Yeah.
You're just programmed.
So you let logic do your controlling rather than, kind of maybe understanding or listening to your own feelings.
Yeah.
Sean, you gotta let Jake figure it out.
No, I'm just saying that's what I was thinking, because you said,
No, I understood the logic part though. Like I could agree with that.
Yeah.
Ready for the So we've got the Seven of Swords. Oh, Swords cards. Seven of Swords.
Why did you're bald.
Weird.
Bald. Are you live? Are you live? Can you read this? Yes, we're live.
Who said that?
Curry and MC Go. Dude, literally it says we're live.
Literally, it's a live stream.
Or maybe you think about like restreaming or something. People seem to think that we're like not real for some reason.
Alright,
That's
I think
because
it's 'cause
we're
we
cooler
switch
than them.
cameras.
Yeah.
let's move on to this card here.
Such a bunch of camera shot.
Okay.
You're still in that.
So, shut the fuck up. The swords cards tend to deal with a lot about logic, finding clear-cut conclusions to things, and also the double-edgedness of having that logic and having it be a benefactor in maybe your loss of senses or being in tune with your feelings. That's kind of sort of a theme that we have here with swords. Then again, not all of the swords cards are necessarily referring to a bad situation that happened. They're more referring to the logic to help you find a way through it, but also trying to keep you in mind of the fact that you still need to be in tune with your emotions and be aware of them, and you need to try to be in tune with them while also being able to come to a conclusion of logic. And that brings me ironically to the Seven of Swords, which keywords of the Seven of Swords are deception, strategy, manipulation, and solitude. This word is ironic in a way, compared to how you're thinking about this way. With like all of these choices you have, with people either wanting to continue to go down, continuing down like certain paths, whatever paths you have opening up to you in the future, in the near future especially. It's kind of like, I guess it's not that ironic. I mean, there's all of these things, like you were referring to with the Nine of Swords, the first card that you pulled, referring to your reflection on yourself and what you've been going through, kind of overcoming that. The seven of Swords, I guess, on the other side is the other end of that double-edged blade, right? It's the is you're thinking about like yourself and the problems you have to deal with on your own, and whatever means necessary it is to get to that destination. It's more talking about being aware of the possibilities of things that can happen along the way. So, I'm going to read this. Although the swords are a logical suit concerned with absolutes, they are not particularly fussed with ethics. Ethics, after all, are indeed absolutes, but they are an absolute of emotions. The absolute of the swords often pushes aside principles to see the bottom line instead. They ask what will serve you best. Sometimes it means slicing other people along the way. Sometimes it means doing things that you aren't proud of. Sometimes living this way ends up with other people turning the tables and treating you this way too. This is exactly what the Seven of Swords promises. It is a card of cunning and deception. The kindest reading promises that this is a card of strategy, not out and outline. Just to be cautious with the truth in order to get what you want. The worst reading admits that the word strategy often is just a prettier term for manipulation. The person in this card often finds themselves in an intentional solitude. Too many partners will see through the web of half-truths. The Seven of Swords isn't always talking about you, however. You could also be the victim of someone else's manipulation, about lies, or perhaps be living with the suspicion that you're being played. Sometimes this card calls for a bit of gamesmanship, urging you to embrace your cunning. Personally, I think it's better to cross my fingers and tell the truth. It can be tempting to play the game, but in the end, blades in the hidden murk, even your own, are more likely to cut you than the ones clearly presented in the light of day. So, what do you guys think about that one? What do you think about it?
I mean, I don't know. I mean, like, I am like a very, like, I tend to like keep my thoughts to myself and stuff, and like my feelings about stuff to myself, and kind of like deal with it like that. So, I mean, like I feel like I like identify with that card, you know, but like not like I don't feel like I want to, you know, but like I do, you know, and like maybe to be cautious of that. I guess.
Yeah.
And not let myself do that because I feel like it's like something I could do, you know? Because I'm like capable of manipulation, but I don't want to do that, you know? Obviously.
I know exactly.
Huh?
Like when you make me hold your friends.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, you manipulate the shit out of us, and especially Sean. Sean bends at every will that you ask. Sean will do anything for you. Sean's your bitch.
What do we think about moving on from this?
Okay.
Let's see what we got. So we've
Can you
got.
show the.
Whoa, that's a rough card.
Oh fuck!
Yeah, that's a rough one. It could also be a good card. This card is extremely focused on extreme change. Very similar to the Death card, but a little bit different at the same time. So, thinking about the tower,
Sorry, I was zooming in.
fuck off with that shit. Shut up. Alright. So some keywords to think about with the tower is betrayal, dissolution, and revelation. In a dreadful way, seeing this card always excites me. Is it terrible to admit that most people find the tower quite terrifying? The tower is something that you have come to rely on, a truth you believe utterly, or a way of life you have grown accustomed to. And in this card, it is entirely destroyed in a roaring, starving fire, leaving a blackened and familiar territory on the other side of it. And blackened and unfamiliar territory on the other side of it. Sometimes it comes by surprise. This ravaging force that destroys something you thought was immutable, but usually it makes sense in retrospect. This is change that has been agitating for a long time. Wisdom that has been battering at your mind, a truth you've been refusing to admit. You've held it back, consciously or subconsciously, and now the fire explodes through your defenses, all the more savage for having been blocked up for so long. The bad news is that it's going to be shocking, and this revelation, there's a reason you've been resisting it. It's going to be utterly devastating in a way that only a complete reversal or betrayal can be. Change is always stressful, and this is a huge change. The good news is that you needed this. You didn't want it, but you definitely, certainly, absolutely needed it. And once you get over the wincing pain of having the rug snatched from under you, and the furniture taken, and maybe the house too, you get your breath back, you will find that you suddenly have a host of new possibilities open to you. You should have done this ages ago. It would have been a lot less violent, that's for sure, but it's over now. Just to sit on your hands and start building
Isaac
something.
Johnson. I don't think we can do it like that, sorry.
Sorry, Zach Johnson.
Yeah. I mean, I was kind of expecting that for some reason. Like, cause like I'm doing a lot, like there's a lot of different things in my life that like I know I'm gonna like that are gonna like really change everything, you know, and like there's like a few things like that could correlate to, you know, but it's like I don't know. I just feel like with like that and the fact that and like all the swords, you know, is like getting my feelings back, you know. But like I don't know what that's gonna be. But
Bruh.
Way to end that profound statement, Jake.
thank you.
Is there anything else you'd like to add about this card?
Well, or just to be cautious, I guess, because it's like if I like,
It's not that you should be cautious, like the tower is like,
well, no,
something's gonna happen, right?
yeah, but like this is like success and then manipulation and change.
Yeah, it's like you're going to find your success through. I I mean, the possibility of maybe manipulation, but maybe more on the other side of like your logical way of thinking with this card, and then also some sort of changes to what happens and bring about that success. That's what I'm thinking, and it's going to be a change that's going to be really big. That's what I'm thinking is going to happen.
Oh, last card.
I know.
I'm waiting for the last
So
one.
they're jumping out of windows and shit.
We have the Chariot.
Oh. Dude.
It's another card, major arcana, of course.
Major.
Oh, dude, it's major.
The Sun, the Tower, and the Chariot are all three part of the major arcana.
What'd you get? Whatever. The tower, the chariot, and like what?
The Sun.
It's like it was black.
Yeah,
So
but
it's all
my
gold.
cups are like that.
Okay. So are we ready?
You don't wash out. So need your water.
I'm supposed to.
Jake,
Okay, I'm ready.
I'm gaslighting your water.
Shut up. Shut up. Stop. Both of you. Shut up. What are you doing?
I just spilled water in front of them.
Oh my god.
Alright. Alright, let's stop for a second. Let's let me focus on this. So we got the Chariot. So the keywords to think about the Chariot are balance, self-control, duality, and identification. Are you done?
No, he's
Very nice, dude, but it's like
Okay.
on the floor.
he doesn't want to break any electronics.
There's more. There's a bunch of ice cubes. Don't.
That's it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Just let it melt in your hand.
No.
Alright.
Sean, get these ice cubes.
Just let it go.
Okay, go.
Oh.
Dorito D20.
Okay, so the duality that the Lover's card mutters about. So the duality that the Lover's card mutters about becomes a proper problem. The Lovers, indeed.
Sure.
How
is that well?
just this card comes after the Lover's card in order. So the duality that the Lover's card mutters about becomes a proper problem by the time the Chariot shows up in a reading. There are two sides to you, seemingly opposite, and you keep being thrown from one to the other. In many decks, this card depicts two beasts of a different color pulling a chariot. Exactly what it is. Yep. When they agree on a direction, the chariot moves forward swiftly. So when they agree on a direction, the chariot moves forward swiftly. When they disagree, the chariot grinds to a halt. You've ground to a halt. Oftentimes, the duality of this card refers to our emotions versus our intellect. The heart says one thing, the head says another. The chariot won't move. Other times, this card refers to our softer side and our more thrill-seeking side. This part of you urges safety, this other part of you shouts of risk. There's a reason why the dragons on this card are dark and light. They appear to be opposites, like the dragons in this card. In this depiction of it versus the two spaces we have here. Being, shut up. Alright,
Yeah.
so we got the two spaces here that are, white with some black stripes versus black with some white stripes on it. They are opposites. When this card shows up, it's a sign that your self-control is being tested and generally is being found wanting. The chariot's not moving because you can't figure out how to get yourself in line. You can't figure out which you want to be. The chariot isn't really about choice. The chariot isn't really about choice, though. It's about balance. You aren't cutting one of the beasts free so that you can move on without it. The chariot will move with only one of them, but not as fast as if you found a way to make both of them move in the same direction. The chariot tells you that there's a way to satisfy the warring parts of you. Find your self-control, embrace your dark and light sides, and enjoy the ride. What do you think about it?
I mean, yeah, it kind of makes sense in the whole grand scheme of things. Yeah. it's just like, I don't know, like, continue going, I guess, doing what I need to do. And like, I don't know, I think like what I'm doing, I'm doing the right kind of stuff right now. And if I just continue to do that and cut all the like, fuck you, cut all the like,
Negativity
yeah,
out of your life.
yeah, and just cut all the like stuff that's like holding me back, I guess. Because if as soon as I do that, I'm just gonna continue to go the way I want to go. You know?
Okay.
Maybe. I don't know.
Okay. Have any like Danny, do you guys have any thoughts on this?
No, I love that one. That was good.
Any thoughts? I got an intense one. You just like my feet.
No, it just every time I go to do the cards, your feet end up in the shot, so I'm just like, fuck it, I'm just gonna start filming
But
your feet.
did this like have any correlation to like what you were asking about?
I mean, yeah, kind of. I mean, I just was generally asking about my future and just like the stuff that I'm doing, you know?
I think that directly correlates to all of these cards then.
Yeah. I was just asking about like Slompy and if I'm doing the right thing.
Yeah, I think this is kind of forcefully representing your options to yourself. Trying to make you realize what options you have ahead of you, the opportunities that could come along, and what can happen to, you know, zombie, like whatever option you decide to go with, and like what effect it has on us. For sure, it's kind of what I feel like is going on there. All right, because I'm gonna do mine now. So
Now I get this.
Garbage time.
Yeah, bitch, gotta do what they say, so.
Damn, dude, my hand's like dead. I was just going like back and forth. I was like, sorry.
I'm gonna need some silence for a minute. I'm gonna like.
Do we burn another one of those incense?
Do you want to?
They're nice.
Yeah, they're very nice.
They're very calming.
Yeah.
I didn't even finish burning
They
this.
brought
I
me
just like stopped.
to a very nice center.
Oh, fuck. You're
No,
the
bitch.
card before I
And you don't know I said that.
How y'all doing it?
Yeah, everybody
Good,
stop
just give me
by.
a second. Bro, it's not.
Smells like my aunt's house. I can't get over it.
There we go. What's up, Bryce? How you doing?
Bryce Bogan's here?
Yeah.
What's up, Bryce Bogan?
We're just doing some tarot cards.
What's up? We're doing some tarot card stuff.
How's your Brendo tat looking? Jake's got his get your Brendo tat.
My friend got that.
What about your drawing?
Drawing? I don't know. How's he doing?
Dude, shout out to like Gucci.
I'm gonna close this card. I'm gonna do that.
Get a fresh set. Hey, that's mine on the back.
It's reminding you of that card.
What?
It's reminding you.
Dude.
So that's I don't.
Yeah, you would get it. Yeah, look at there.
Okay, shut up. Focus on my card, bro. Okay. Damn, bro. Just focus on my card, bro. Just kidding. How many cards should I do, guys?
7. So we all do 7.
That's pretty sick.
What?
Alright, I need some silence. I need silence, guys. I need like some silence for a minute.
It's frozen. The picture? Yeah, it is. Why the fuck does it look like that? I kinda hate it. Not gonna lie. Alright, are we this isn't quite right. Yes. Alrighty. Are we ready?
Yeah.
Okay. So, we'll start out with this first card here. See what we get. And we've got
Wait.
Death. That is the first card I got.
Whoa!
You got any explaining to do?
That's what I need to do. Number 13 is Death. Like Death was like before. Keywords to think about when we're reading this stuff. Thinking about change, transformation, and rebirth. I've been getting this card a lot. Every time I've done readings recently, I've gotten this card almost every time. Kind of some. Yeah, I have been planning on making some big changes, like to myself, like in my physical appearance, of course, as you guys already know. Like when I have my hair, I want to get like I want to get like tattoos and stuff.
Okay.
I want to be making some like big transformations, some big differences. So, if I had a fortune from the movie, fortune teller, turning with the death card. I have heard of glorious ponies. I'm gonna like read this over again. See if I can see anything else that kind of like sticks out. Maybe correlating to the question that I asked. The death card has a powerful, fascinating meaning and resort to report, although you might be glad to hear it if you just turned it over, and it is not really a warning that your loved ones should buy more life insurance. It stands for transformation. Complete, utter transformation, where you will be unrecognizable on the other side.
Wow.
What better to stand for? What better to stand for this than the act of dying? We move from one to another death. We don't know exactly what the other side looks like, but we know it is nothing like this one. The uncertainty is what keeps us from willingly plunging into the transformation. Even if we are in an untenable place in our life, don't want to jump without being sure that there is a ledge on the other side of the dark chasm. Otherwise, we'll just stick to the reality we're sure of. Thanks. Stick to the reality we're sure of. Thanks, even if it's truly dreadful. When death arrives in your reading, it's asking you to make that jump. Actually, it's not true. It's not asking, it's telling you it's already happening. You can be a willing partner, or you can be dragged, but you need to make yourself over one way or another. You've come to the useful end of life as you know it. You can change can be terrifying, but it's exciting too.
How do you feel like that relates to the question you asked?
It kind of can relate to the sense of change, maybe not as drastic as it's making it out to be, but also taking a leap into something I don't know, maybe like I don't know the answers of. Just kind of like jumping over and following through, trying to find my way into this change. And I feel like based on like the question I was trying to ask, it's a change that I want to happen, right? But I'm making the journey also kind of.
It's like a welcome change, but you have to make the effort to cause that change.
Exactly that.
Go for another one.
Yeah, I'm gonna do second.
Okay.
So they have here the Queen of Pentacles. This one. So let me see. I have the Queen of Pentacles. So some keywords are nurturing, maternal, practical, and generous. The Queen of Coins is the perfect mother, mother to everyone, mother to the world. She's not only giving and warm, she is good at it because the coins part of her personality means that she can sort of all of the practical details of being mother to everyone. She loves the material things in life, which makes sense, as she embodies the suit of creature comforts, and she loves making other people see just how comfortable and lovely the good things in life can be too. She can't do her work without security though. It's hard for her to focus on the tactile pleasures of life if she has no place to call home. She thrives on stability because it's hard to build a beautiful home when the foundation keeps moving. Don't begrudge her this stodginess. Not everyone needs to be crawling with career aspirations or motivated by itchy feet. What else you got for me? When she appears in a reading, it might mean that you are the Queen of Coins, or that you need to become more like her. It could also mean that you need a Queen of Coins in your life. And who does it?
A sugar mama? The Queen of Coins.
The art is a flower crown, befitting a queen, who produces beauty, kindness, and comfort wherever she goes. I'm not really sure like exactly what it's going to mean. I'm not sure if it really has a direct correlation to what I was asking before. I'm not even sure if it has really a direct correlation to anything. Any thoughts on that recently?
What about like coins? Like thinking like money.
I mean, not really. It's not like maybe like a little bit, but not.
I don't think it means coins in the literal sense.
No,
Oh,
it does. Like it means
yeah.
like having the comfort, like having the comfortable things in life, and doing what it takes to get there. Kind of. That's kind of like what this card represents. What Queen of Pentacles is. It's kind of either having somebody to help you get to that point in your life where you are being able to be comfortable and be able to enjoy the physical accommodations of living, right? Versus not having it.
Wow.
Shut up!
Really?
Whoever keeps playing me, that's how I'm fucking rolling.
Someone, they have the ability to play random noises.
Why are we allowing them to do that?
Because it's funny.
I don't appreciate that.
Sorry.
Okay, so I'm going on to the next one. I've got. Whoa! I got the King of Cups. Ooh! King of Cups is a good card. I like that. So, some keywords to keep in mind are I am being calm, counselor, listener, and manipulation. Okay. So, the King of Cups is a strange figure, like all the kings. She's the master of her given suit, and like all the kings, she far more often dictates the use of her suit rather than dabbling in it herself. Only the King of Cups rules emotion, and so it is odd to see a powerful counselor who is not given to her emotions as much as the rest of her volatile suit. She listens patiently to those who come to her in need
of wisdom and meets it out in calm, fair tones. She's generally good at this, and others appreciate that she can deliver emotional advice without getting emotional herself. She keeps her emotions under tight check, just as the King of Coins keeps her material wealth under wraps, and the King of Swords really uses her intellect to slice, and the King of Wands more often delegates artistry than creates herself. But the King of Cups' pent-up emotions can often escape in unpleasant, unexpected ways. She's well aware of how others' emotions work, and she can also be manipulative as she uses this knowledge to satisfy herself. She can sometimes take advantage of her position as an emotional confidant. She can also be somewhat superficial in her diplomacy, as she knows what everyone needs to hear. When the King of Cups appears in a reading, try to channel her positive qualities, and there are many, of diplomacy and guidance, but also be mindful of subdued emotions. Better to be upfront with your feelings, even if it means losing your crown. You can always earn it back later. Fuck you. Fuck this card.
Why?
Fuck this card.
Why?
Basically, just telling me I gotta like do shit that I'm kind of like wanting to do, but I'm too hesitant to.
So it means
Some,
to
like-
just like take the dive.
Yeah, I'm like, fuck you. Anyways, move on to the next card. I'm not gonna go into details.
Nice.
Yeah.
That's a nice one. Is that 9?
9 of Cups. So you got the 9 of Cups.
Ooh.
Most of these. Okay. No, all of these directly correlate to the question I was asking. Now that I'm thinking about it. None of them kind of realizing. Look at the 9 of Cups. Some keywords are bliss, fulfillment, and pleasure. Happiness. I can leave that single word as the descriptor for this card, and anything you can imagine would be okay. The 9 of Cups is a joyful, wonderful card, representing all of your emotional dreams coming to fulfillment. Whatever you've been working towards in your relationships, be they friendly or familial or romantic, it's all here. You feel deeply content and like things are about to get better. You're probably right. The 9 and 10 both represent happiness, but I generally read the 9 as being happiness that is inside you. Optimism with where everything is going, where everything is at now, where you have been. You personally feel euphoric with the possibilities and actualities of your situation.
Just so we can hear you, sorry.
Okay.
Because you were like talking quieter.
The art shows 9 birds soaring in the clouds. The birds symbolize the strong relationships promised in the card, and the clouds are, well, I just think it would be really great to be able to fly. That's what I'm saying. I also don't want that mic right there because I don't want to open my cards, bro. You fun?
Oh yeah.
So like, how does that? Because you started realizing that they applied. You want to go
And
into
this directly applies. It's kind of just like telling me that everything that I am worried about with. This is kind of like how I'm thinking of this spread that I have here so far. So I have death, and I'm like thinking of this in correlation to my questions. I should be more calm about maybe taking that leap and just kind of be less scared of just doing it and just kind of finding my way over the gap. Maybe the Queen of Pentacles is not necessarily directly correlates, but I mean it kind of is an important part because I feel like I highly value like the comedies and being able to have the money to support myself and like the things that I want, right? Being able to have that financial security for myself kind of is in a way what this card represents. And then for the King of Cups, kind of like dictating like emotions, relationships, like friendships with people. Yeah, these cards are kind of going hand in hand with maybe like I'm feeling like the King is dictating that whatever I am worried about is going to be ending in happiness, and it's going to be like what I want to come, I'm going to feel fulfillment and have like whatever I am yearning for, have it.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. That's kind of what I'm thinking is what it's saying so far.
think as well? These ones are feeling more general than they are specific, or do you think that
No, these directly correlate to the question.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
Are you going to the next card? Or do you want to like answer some more questions or something?
I want to move on to the next card. We'll go to the Two of Wands. That's that.
Thank you to Bryce Bogan for subscribing.
Thank you,
Not-
Bryce.
So we've got the Two of
Get a
Wands.
shot of that card. Get a shot of that card. Can you stop filming through your crotch?
We've got
your bag or
Sean, what the fuck? Anyways, we've got the Two of Wands. So some keywords are planning goals and moving forward. Ideas are fantastic, but everyone has them. A rather smaller group actually acts productively on them. That's where the Two of Wands comes in. After the creative rush of the Ace, it's time to look ahead. Where are you going with this? What's your long-term goal? It's still a long way off, but that's the best possible scenario you can imagine for this useful creative project in your hands. I drew this card last night while I was doing my reading.
you?
Yeah. I chose a Raven snatching a wand from the creative fire for the two, because that's how it feels to me. Artistic chaos roars fiercely. Roars ferociously, powerful but lacking direction. And the Two of Wands, my watchful self, begins to impose structure and direction on that idea. The Raven snatches the burning branch out of the fire. It's a smaller flame, but not as blinding as the Ace, but it's also controllable. When you pull the Two of Wands, it is time to make some goals for yourself. They should be personal goals, milestones that are entirely within your power to achieve. It's not time to release your creative force in the world yet, but it's time to start thinking about it. Yeah, I mean, again, in a way, this card kind of both giving me, I feel like both giving me general advice. Maybe I should really just get more in tune with creativity, with my own creativity. Like, you know, what I'm thinking is when it comes to like music and stuff, and just kind of like being more creative instead of just trying to learn things that other people have already created, and maybe just trying focusing on making something of it on my own.
Yeah. That's nice. It's always nice to be open to your own creativity and your imagination.
Yeah, but then also on the side of it saying that you need to find goals for yourself also correlates with the question that I had, and especially with the Death, the King of Cups, and the Nine of Cups cards, and the setting personal goals of getting across that chasm of change that Death was talking about. I think setting my goal, making a goal, setting goals to get myself there.
But also allowing yourself to channel that like creativity throughout that.
Yeah.
I like that. On to the next.
We got the Nine of Wands.
Wow.
Nine of Wands, more creative. These are all good cards. I like these cards. I haven't gotten anything to make me like, oh, I don't like that.
I mean, you did flip off the King of Cups.
I mean, yeah, but that's just because like I need to like fucking just
Yeah,
get over myself and do what I want to do.
That's what I want.
Alrighty, so the Nine of Wands keywords are stamina, strength, and capability. The Nine of Wands and Ten of Wands have always struck me as a bit of an odd way to end the suit of creativity. The Nine in particular, the Nines of all the suits hover right on the edge of completion, increasingly following their theme of a given suit to its logical conclusion. But where the Nine of Coins and the Nine of Cups are exceptionally positive cards, and the Nine of Swords at least logically follows them from the hardship of the rest of the Swords suit, the Nine of Wands seems unfairly difficult for an otherwise productive suit. One might be tempted to live in the Nine of Coins and the Nine of Cups forever, but it would be pretty taxing to live in the Nine of Wands for much as a lifetime. I literally pulled this card yesterday too. Anyways, it represents an effort that is nearly done, close enough to touch, except for one final push. And it's no minor obstacle that stands between you and completion. The final step is something that is going to strengthen it and it's to its utmost. Something that depends on all of the experience and skill you've built up to this point. The blackened fingers in the art show the experience with the easy but the confidence with which those blackened hands contain the fire speaks to how, at the very least, you have the skill to handle it. You can do it. It'll burn, but push through to success.
I like that card.
I would rather not go into detail of why that directly correlates to my emotion. We're just going to move on.
No problem.
That's a good card.
It's cool that you got them multiple days in a row. So it's really applying to what's going on. Ooh.
9 of Pentacles.
I like
9 of Cups, 9 of Wands, and 9 of Pentacles. The 9 of Pentacles. So
Did you
weird.
say the Knight of Pencils?
9 of Pentacles.
Oh,
Doofenshmirtz.
shit, I got a shit. I'm so sorry. But, oh shit,
Keywords?
get a shot of that.
It looks pretty sick. This card.
The card looks pretty sick.
I got this card also the other day. I pulled this card the other day also. Some keywords to think about are abundance, satisfaction, accomplishment, and success. This is a lovely card to turn over when you've been working for something, when you've been working at something for a long time. The full bloom of 9 of coins, the first fully open rose pictured in the suit, indicates that your efforts have finally come to fruition. You've reached a place where you're not only stable, but you also have more than enough. You have more than enough. Worries about material goods no longer niggle in the back of your mind when you sleep at night. You can now make career choices based upon what is artistically exciting or spiritually enriching for you, rather than what will put bread on the table. That freedom is perhaps what makes this card better than the 10. Although the wealth pictured in a 10 is greater, the 9 coins is enough. It is plenty. It is not too much. It's just enough to allow you to be whoever you would like to be. The coins are not a spiritual suit, but the abundance in this card means that you can now afford to turn your mind to non-career matters, which often makes it spiritual by default. This card urges you to look around yourself and enjoy what you have. Do you need more? Have you been taking the time to bask in any other opportunities such success allows you? Don't squander it, but take the time to live when you've earned it. This card has no correlation whatsoever. It has like maybe like minor correlation, but I feel like that this card is just reinforcing the other card that I got, the Queen of Pentacles, and it's talking about the how I am bringing my own self to prosperity through like hard work and dedication, just kind of getting myself there. And this card is just kind of saying that it is all coming to fruition, that I don't have to really worry about my material needs as much anymore, that I'm now stable enough. So yeah.
Bam. Full bongo burger.